Well, I suppose the only place to start after a result like that is the fact that we've completely thrown the game away, and to be honest, I feel like they deserve it based on that second half performance. There was a lot of people saying that we were in control of the game, but I don't really think we were. I thought all game we were incredibly slow on the ball, but the passing wasn't too bad. Casemiro and Eriksen were playing some nice passes around, but we weren't getting Anthony in the game. We weren't getting Rashford in the game. We seemed to keep launching balls up to Weghorst at times, but that's not his style of play. He's more about backing into players, having the ball played into feet, not balls onto his head. Didn't really think he offered much to us tonight with Weghorst. And then, second half, we just got sloppier and sloppier and sloppier. And Crystal Palace started making chances. De Gea had to come up with a few really good saves. And credit where it's due. I thought De Gea had a good game tonight. I can't have a go at him for the goal. He just didn't get there, and I don't think many would. At least he went with his left hand. I always moan about him not using his left hand. He was full stretch with his left hand and couldn't get there. So I can't blame De Gea for the goal, but it was just a really, really underwhelming performance all round, and I don't really know who's to blame for that. I suppose you have to say the manager, who's supposed to get the most out of his players, supposed to drive the intensity, and we had no intensity tonight. It's almost as if we sort of went, it's Crystal Palace, we'll nick a goal, which we did, and then we'll just casually play our way through the second half, save our legs for Arsenal. It sort of felt like that. Ten Hag went into the game in his pre-match interview saying how the priority is winning tonight. We're playing Casemiro because he'll give us the best chance of winning the game, so we'll get the 3 points tonight, and then we'll think about Arsenal, which seemed like the right approach, but it's as if the players didn't get that message. That's the worst I've seen Rashford play for 6 months. He just didn't look interested. Anthony has just become so predictable, it's unbelievable. You just know every time he gets the ball, he's going to go on to his left foot and then try and create something on his left foot. If you just stand to the side of Anthony and say, go on your right foot, he doesn't do anything. He just turns around and passes it backwards. So he's been found out. And then, it was a performance where I thought the defence played really well. And that's the sad thing about it, is that Crystal Palace have got their goal, because I thought Wan-Bissaka was exceptional once again, and he'd even denied Wilfried Zaha a clear goal-scoring opportunity at the end of the game. A phenomenal tackle that I don't think anyone else in the world could have made that tackle to stop Zaha at the end there. And Varane and Martinez were solid. Luke Shaw did his jobs. Casemiro was absolutely phenomenal, and he's obviously now got to be suspended for the Arsenal game because he took his yellow card, but it was a challenge that you had to make, and unfortunately you have to take a yellow card in situations like that. Again, you have to look at the manager as to why he left him on that long, knowing that he was on a yellow card. But I just feel like we've thrown the game away here by not being aggressive enough when we've got the lead, because a 1-0 lead is never safe, and any moment of brilliance can happen at any time in a football match. And when you've got a 1-0 lead and that moment of brilliance comes in the 91st minute of the match, you draw the game and you lose 2 points. And that's exactly what's happened to us tonight. So I'm very disappointed in that regard, because it's a game we should be winning. I know Crystal Palace have been playing reasonably well recently and not quite been getting results. They've really, really struggled for goals, and it looked like that was going to be the case. So I feel like we had more than enough chances to put the game to bed tonight and just didn't really want it enough. So I don't feel like we deserve to win a game where we play that badly, so I'm not going to complain about that. Like I say, I'm just disappointed that we've thrown 2 points away and that we've lost Casemiro for the Arsenal game, because that could end up being an absolutely massive loss for us. Now, the one thing I will say, and I'm not one for trying to make excuses when, like I say, we've performed that badly, and in my opinion, we don't deserve to win a game where we perform that badly, but I think the ref has absolutely done us over tonight as well. I'll be a little bit extra salty and say that there's a definite argument for, I think it was Mateta, it was either Mateta or Edouard should have been sent off in the first half for a clear elbow to the face of Martinez that literally split his head open and required him to have a bandage around his head for the rest of the game. VAR didn't even look at the incident, and how VAR can't look at an incident where a player has literally elbowed someone square in the forehead and potentially knocked them out. So there's that. And then, of course, we have the two incidents that essentially resulted in the final result. And that is at 1-0 with about 15 minutes left. Scott McTominay goes through on goal and gets taken down in the box. And the referee says, get up. And VAR look at it and say it's not a clear and obvious error. Well, if a player touches the ball away from an opponent and then the opponent makes contact with the player on their shin and it causes them to go down, that's a foul. Therefore, that's a penalty. So how that's not been given, I really don't know. Obviously, Howard Webb has come in and said we want it to be clear and obvious for the referees to have to go to the monitor. So the person in VAR has clearly deemed it not clear and obvious, but I don't understand how that's not clear and obvious. And then the free kick itself for the goal. No one seems to be talking about this. There's absolutely no contact from Luke Shaw on Jeffrey Schlupp as he's running away from him. Schlupp runs past him, sees Luke Shaw coming across him, and then just dives to the floor. Luke Shaw is going absolutely nuts at the referee, and the referee says, no, it's a free kick. And then Michael Olise scores the free kick, and Palace get the 1-1 draw. So that's 2, potentially even 3 massive incidents that have massively affected the game tonight that the officials have got completely wrong. But like I say, I don't think we deserve to win anyway. So you get what you deserve in football, and I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments that are going to be laughing, like, oh, your Rashford goal, the Rashford-Bruno thing shouldn't have counted against City, so it's balanced itself out, and you deserve to have these things go against you because of what happened in the Man City game. But the law states that the Fernandes goal should stand, and apparently the law states that we shouldn't have had a penalty tonight, even though, I mean, I say the law states. The ruling from the Howard Webb to the VAR is that it has to be absolutely stone wall clear and obvious. But for me, it was. And yeah, don't really know what else to say. I know the Arsenal fans are obviously laughing their heads off that Casemiro is out of the game on Sunday. All that says to me is that Arsenal are terrified that they're going to lose on Sunday. So that fills me with a little bit more confidence, because I don't think we need Casemiro to beat Arsenal, but I do think we need a much better performance than we saw tonight if we're going to beat Arsenal. So mixed feelings. I really don't know where we stand now. It's a massively missed opportunity to gain ground on Arsenal, putting pressure on the game going into Sunday in the knowledge that if we would have beaten them after winning tonight, we would have gone level with them on points. Now, instead, it doesn't matter what happens on Sunday. Arsenal will be top of the league at the end of the match, and that's the worst part of it, because it's kind of like going into the Tottenham game where the pressure got lifted after we beat City. Now the pressure is lifted on Arsenal for this game as well, because they can even lose to Manchester United and still be top of the league, meaning that they'll be more confident and are now more likely to win. And on top of that, Casemiro's not going to play as well, so they're going to be even more confident. But you know what? Even with Casemiro suspended, we could put Fred on Odegaard, and I don't think Xhaka would cause too many problems. We could move Martinez into midfield and put Shaw back to centre-back, Malacia at left-back, and I still think Arsenal really struggle to score. So I'm still a little bit confident going into the Arsenal game, but like I say, you lose your key player in midfield, and you lose the momentum of having won 9 games in a row by putting in a shocking performance like that. And all of a sudden, Sunday becomes a much, much tougher task. So, fingers crossed, we still get the job done on Sunday. But I'm a lot more sceptical now that that is even possible, let alone achievable. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts about tonight, whether or not I'm crazy for thinking the officials have done us over tonight. How we can recover from a performance like that with such a massive game against Arsenal coming up on Sunday. And how realistically our title chances are when you drop points that quickly. It's amazing how the perspective of everything changes when one moment of madness or one moment of brilliance changes the course of a game and potentially the entire season. Thank you very much for watching.